Speaking of the body, you're a carnival man.
He's a carnival man.
He's a carnival man. And so I'm just interested in how carnival, I mean, you talk about carnival and things I've withheld. I don't know that the carnival is so much in the poems, but I'm interested in like how does carnival impact your aesthetic? You're thinking about writing, your craft or your practice. You're talking about discipline earlier, and carnival is just about flinging discipline away anyway. So, yeah.
But it's so on purpose, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and let's just acknowledge that I come from Jamaica, so I don't know carnival like you, right?
And I was in Trinidad and I've done carnival maybe twice, so we even.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how it impacts the work. I think it's something that I'm just increasingly fascinated with, and for all kinds of reasons. Probably one of the reasons is, you know, I did Carnival the first time, and it was, my God, this is so much fun. You know, wow, the release, the abandon, and you know, so you went back another year, and the third year I did it, I thought, God, there's so many layers I didn't see before, and then I became fascinated. Like, how did I enjoy this for 2 years and not see all of these layers? And then I think that was the kind of something hit. And that just keeps on happening. The fourth and the fifth year, it was, there is so much depth here. And so suddenly understanding the history, blah, blah, blah. So that's one of the fascinations of seeing Carnival in Trinidad. And just the fact that it allows visitors to come and be a part of it and enjoy it, and you don't have to know everything. And as you understand it more, of course your sense of appreciation grows, but you just think, how did I enjoy it before without knowing all of this? That's one level.
Sounds like a poem.
Could be. I think it's going to be a bigger book than that, though.
Oh no, I just meant that is not how sometimes you read the poem and you have no idea what's going on, but you like it.
Yeah.
And then like the good poem that you go back and say like, oh wait a minute, this is an allusion to,
Right. Yeah.
oh wait a minute, this is referring to, and then you're like, oh wait.
Like W.S. Merwin's My Friends, which I keep on going back to. It's probably a poem I fell in love with when I was 18 years old. I still don't get it, but I read it like at least once every 2 months, and it's just always revealing more to me. But the other thing with Carnival is, I guess, has to do with queerness and what it does in Jamaica. So my other fascination with Carnival is that it operates differently in different countries, and it means, because I guess, again, this fascination with the body, what bodies are attracted to Carnival, and how do those bodies add meaning to it, and how does the meaning of Carnival change? So Carnival in Jamaica is simply not, you know, and it's simply not what Carnival is in Trinidad, and people, you know, the purists will say, but it's not a real Carnival, but it is. Like it again, it doesn't have the same kind of depth, but yeah, I am fascinated by the meanings that occur in Jamaica, which have a lot to do with queerness and that expression. And so yeah, just seeing Carnival operating in different places, some with less depth, some with more depth. But it's always fun, but it's what happens beneath the surface and how those meanings grow year after year. So in Jamaica, I think, again, you know, you say Jamaica doesn't have the same history as Trinidad, but I think one of the things I say in the essay, history just needs years.
Right.
It just needs a piling on of years to happen and someone to document it. And I feel I want to do that. I want to document how the meaning of Carnival grows in Jamaica. And at the end of the day, even if it doesn't have all of that, or even if you're not able to see those layers, it's still fun. It's still just wild. And you know, even in that, there's so much meaning behind this is about indiscipline. You know, it's not simply just abandon. There is, again, just the history of it is that I reject your idea of what discipline should look like. You know, it's so Rastafari. You know, the idea of dreadlocks. And I've heard some, you know, Rastas today say, no, it's not dreadlocks because dread is dreadful, but that was the meaning of it. my hair is supposed to look dreadful to your idea of what neatness ought to look like. I am wearing this style in opposition to all of those ideas, which is what Carnival is.
Right.
You know, I love being in Trinidad when, you know, when Juve happens and everyone goes out on the road, and the disdain and contempt with which people look on cars trying to pass, and it's this attitude of, the road is mine. Do you understand that today is Carnival and the road belongs to me? Do not dare blow your horn or try to get past me.
I'm not moving any faster.
I'm not moving, and I will jump up and wind down on your car. There is so much meaning behind that claiming of space, claiming of the road, claiming of freedom. That, you know, yeah, there's one way to call it indiscipline, but again, you know, because the Caribbean is so obsessed with, again, we were talking about this yesterday, the idea of discipline and who is disciplined and who is doing the disciplining, all of that has to do with slavery. And so to claim a place of indiscipline is to claim your freedom and your body.